dear. The BMW X6. The first in a long and godforsaken line of coupe SUVs. I say that although I was complimenting the hell out of the Audi QRS8 literally 2 weeks ago. Anyway, the X6 was the first coupe SUV. It was based on the X5, but I think it basically just had a cut roofline and that's it. And it was stupid. Like, totally stupid. It was literally just an X5, but more expensive, worse off-road, with less headspace for those in the back, and horrendously ugly. I mean, the X5 was never a looker, but the X6 was a pig. Honestly, one of the most stupid and pointless cars in the world. I do not know what BMW was smoking when they decided to create it, but hopefully that drug has now been made illegal and they're cracking down on stopping people from getting access to it so that we don't get heaps of rubbish like the X6. Strictly speaking, this is the second generation of X2. X2? X6. Gen 2 of the X6. Amazing. This was the one that came with, I think it was an M Sport variant? X6 M50i? Anyway, basically an even more vulgar version of an already ridiculously vulgar car. I've painted it black just to hide some of the vulgarness. It's not succeeding though. Anyway, I don't know why this exists. Because you would think that when BMW made the first X6, they would have realised, we have made one of the most abysmal heaps of crap in the automotive world. Let's not fuck that one up again. But no, they spawned in the second generation of X6. And then it got worse. The X7 is basically the 7 Series to the X5, which is like the 5 Series, but the X variant. Even worse looking, even more tasteless. Yeah, no. But then they gave it the X6 treatment and created the woeful X8. I am genuinely lost for words, and it's not often that happens. I'm usually the gobbiest piece of shit you know. But seriously, why? Why in the name of sanity would anyone think that making the X6 and the X8 was a good idea? I have no idea how anyone bought these things. But what I really do need to know is how I can get a hitman on those people. Honestly, you think BMW's bad now? Well, apparently the design guy was getting so much flack, and rightfully so, that he's retired. This wasn't his work. And yet it's still just as bad. Oh God. Performance. BMW is supposed to be all performance and speed and look at us with the fastest things on the road and usually getting gapped by everything alive. This is the most averagely performing car I have ever driven. It's actually pretty quick for an SUV, but the performance is just totally average. 5 out of 10. I'm genuinely amazed that they made it so average. I've got no words, it's just average. There's not really many other words for average, otherwise I'd have said some of them by now. What are some words for average? Cornering, though. Well, it's a big, fat, heavy BMW SUV with far too much power than is necessary. So guess what? One word, begins with U. Understeer. This thing really, really understeers. But worse than that, it's twitchy. You can't really slightly adjust it. You just sort of either it won't turn at all when you press the pedal, or it turns and spits you into a ditch. Brakes are pretty bad too. God, I hate this car. So let's see. Let's see how god-awful this is. Because we know it's going to be god-awful. We're not going to, you know, ooh, surprising, it's a piece of shit. We already know this, but let's see. Try and keep it close to the apexes. And feel the understeer, which is massive. 130 through that corner. Should have been doing 140, but no, the car's crap. Up this hill. Keep to the rock. Okay. Bit of understeer around lake turn. Downhill. Flat through the downhill turn. 34.7. Actually better than I was expecting, but could do better. Quite a bit better. So, should you buy it? No. But for some weird reason, it's in a performance price bracket all of its own. The similar cars to it would be Dodge Ram, Cadillac Escalade, Trophy Truck, but they're all much, much slower than it. So in actuality, this is pretty much the only car you can get if you want a really, really fast SUV for around 175k. But don't get an SUV, don't ever get an SUV. That's the one thing I'm going to teach you on this channel. Do not get an SUV. You want a four-door car? This Merc, or my personal favourite, the Nissan Skyline GTR. So, thank you all for watching. Buy a Skyline. Now tomorrow I'm going to be testing another 4-seater BMW. The Rolls-Royce Ghost. That should be interesting. Big luxury car. Let's drive it fast. See you then, hopefully. And so, on that bombshell, yeah, I just said I'll see you with the Rolls-Royce Ghost. So, do that.